Okay, so this is another lesson, and this one's in the real numbers. So I wanted to, whoops, I wanted to show you this first. In order to identifying, in order to identify parts in an algebraic expression, you have to know the vocabulary words. I feel like I've taught this in class a few times, but that's okay. We can teach it again, and this might be something you want to take a screenshot of or pause it while you do your, pause this video while you do your lesson. I think you can pause videos on this. I don't know. Let me know if that works. But you got to know these different ones. Let me just go over them a little bit for you. The term is just the parts of the expressions that are added or subtracted. So if you see a plus sign or minus sign, the parts that are in between or next to those are the terms. The sum is just what you get when you add two things together. A variable is a letter or a symbol that stands for a number. A constant is just a single number. It does not include the variable. So if you had, like, say 3n, let me see if I can write this here. So on the constant, if I had 3n, only 3 would be a constant. So the number without the variable is a constant. Like terms are terms that have the same exact variables, and the variables are the same. So if there's an exponent, the exponent has to be the same on all of the terms, then they'll be like terms. Coefficient is a number that's written as a multiplier in a variable expression. So again, if I have 3, oh, whoops, that says text. I just want to draw. Wait a minute. Where am I? Right here. So if I have 3n, why does it keep giving me text? I don't know. Just a minute. Let me figure this out. I'm on draw. So if I have 3n, the coefficient is just that number part. It's the 3n. Okay. Oh, I had an n here earlier. There. So that 3 is called a coefficient. It is also a constant. It can be both. What's another definition? Product, that's just what you get when you're multiplying. And then a factor is a part of the product. So it's what's being multiplied together in order to get your product. That's called the factor. So sorry, I put my finger on the camera, but I just wanted to switch screens. So here's an example. We're going to look at this 2x plus 9y plus 1. Oh, no, why is it doing this? Let me see. No, I don't want my whiteboard. Come back, come back, come back. Huh. Thought I could annotate. Let me see. No, okay. All right, so we're looking at 2x plus 9y plus 1. So the question is, 1 is a constant. Always. It's true if they're giving you a number and it's only a number and it asks for a constant. Yes, that's true. 2x and 1 are like terms. They're not like terms because 1 doesn't have an x with it. 2x is a coefficient. No, the coefficient is actually, remember, just the number part. So that's going to be false. This is the sum of 3 terms. So if we find the plus signs, there's 3 in between. So yes, that's true. There it is a sum and it's being added. 2x is a factor. Because they're being multiplied, it's actually called a product. So, and it's also called a term. So 2 is a factor by itself and x is a factor. But 2x would not be a factor, it'd be a product. So let's do a little bit of practice here, see what we can come up with. So 7u is a coefficient. We know that's not true because the only coefficient would be the 7. 5v and 8v are like terms. They both have a v, so yes, that's true. 7u is a factor. No, remember that's a product. Each part of that is a factor, so 7's a factor and u is a factor, but together they're not a factor. 7u is a term, so I'm going to look up here if there's a plus sign between it and something else, so yes, that's a term. 3 is a constant. Yep, I don't even need to look. As long as it's just a number, it's a constant. So that's that one. We'll do one more for an example. Okay, now this one's a little different because everything's being multiplied. There's not going to be any terms in here. There's no plus sign. I know the plus signs are inside the parentheses, but because they're not between parts, it's not going to be a sum. So in 4x, 4 is a coefficient. Well, that is true because remember, if you have a variable, the number part with it is a coefficient. 4x plus 7 is written as a sum of 3 terms. That's not true because there's only 2 terms there, the 4x and the 7. 1 and 8 are like terms. Yeah, that's true because they're both just constants. In this, 4x is a constant. Oh no, anytime they say constant, it has to be just the number. Can't be a variable. 4x is a factor. Nope, that's another one. They seem to like to ask that a lot. 4x is a product, and each 4 and x are factors, but not together. So that's all there is. That's it. And we're ready to end our video. Good job. Thank you for listening. I hope it was helpful.